Andrew McDonald.
Hi, nice to meet you, Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
Gotcha.
Chris.
Hi, Don. We haven't had the pleasure yet.
No.
Xavier.
Xavier?
The Uber conversation is a rigorous one that happens pretty much daily in my office. So with the vote, of course, happening next week, it was a valuable time to sit with you and get some questions answered if we can.
We'll continue to operate, to be very direct, we'll continue to operate in Toronto. I think the court ruling, which I'm sure you guys saw when the city brought an injunction, was pretty clear in stating that Uber is a legal service in Toronto, that there are updates needed to the bylaws in the city to account for ride sharing, but that the status quo didn't cover our business. And so we'll continue operating, we'll continue running a very sort of cheap, safe, reliable service that people in Toronto love, and we'll work with the city to flush out those rules.
If council doesn't approve these recommendations, your Uber's not leaving town.
So if no action is taken at council, we're not going to leave town. I think under a scenario where action against Uber is taken and rules are implemented that we can't comply with, such as putting Uber under a set of bylaws designed for taxis 30 years ago, we can't operate under that scenario. And so that's why it's really key that council takes the action we need. And I think the most important thing that people miss when they talk about regulating this industry is, well, okay, great. We'll do the same set of regulations for everybody. It's exactly the same thing. It's not. This is a part-time gig for the vast majority of people who do it. They fit it in around their lives. So in understanding what a modern set of regulations looks like for this industry, I think you have to understand the business model and what kills the business model, because what you can't say is, well, I love ride sharing, I love what it does for the economy, I love the jobs it creates, I love the flexible earnings opportunities, I love that it grows the market for for-hire vehicles in Toronto and creates a bunch of new economic opportunity. You can't say that and also say, but I think drivers need to go through a month of training, and I think drivers need to visit 5 different city offices and layer on a bunch of bureaucracy that doesn't sort of recognize the flexible, part-time nature of the opportunity.
So that's what
So if the city passes regulations which bring ride-sharing under a regulatory framework, because remember, the judge has said ride-sharing is not under the regulatory framework. If they bring it under the regulatory framework that doesn't work for our business model, we will not be able to operate in Toronto.
If I'm reading the tea leaves right, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. So if that is the sentiment, then here is an opportunity under recommendations 7 and 8 to say, okay, look, if this is immensely popular, it's providing a host of benefits, it's actually helping the dialogue along about reforms we can make to the existing taxi and limo industry to benefit everybody else there, then if you can't put the genie back in the bottle, better for the city to have regulatory oversight of all the things that we know are important, safety, consumer interest. Let's give the city that oversight through regulation that Uber's been asking for. It's an opportunity. If we all agree, you can't put the genie back in the bottle.